Hello, it's Daryl at 10 Foot Truck, Good Attitude Services. It snowed last couple days, and it snowed a lot more than the last video I did. So I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get into the truck. I had to clean all the snow off the truck because I wanted to take the truck out. So I got all the snow cleaned out. It was a sunny day, so I was able to get the truck out. And I took it down to the store. There's quite a bit of snow around. But when I came back to park the truck, I was sliding all over. I had to do some digging to get some of the ice out in my driveway to get the truck back in. But yeah, the thing about this truck is they have really good all-wheel tires except for one. What happened is when I was doing a long haul across, I was doing a load from the other side of the Cascades, which is the big mountain range that goes over from Seattle to the eastern side. And I was coming to the eastern side, and I ran over. It was a construction spike or something. They were doing a lot of construction. It blew the tire out. So in the middle of nowhere. That's a whole long story there, and I can go into that about roadside assistance and having that, and that's how important it is. But so anyway, I blew that tire out. So that was the drive tire, the tire for the drive line, and the tire they put on there, of course, it's not that old. That's only a few years ago. It just doesn't have as much traction, as much tread as my other tires. So I'm gonna have to replace all these tires to make it easier if I wanna hop out on the road during the snow and ice. And another idea I have is getting a cargo van with all-wheel drive. So when these snowstorms come in, I can actually go out and work. Because this week is gonna be even colder. The snow's still sticking on the ground. They do a very good job plowing out here. That's one thing about here is that because we get a lot of snow, they have a great network of plows. The city and the county, and then of course we have private people who do, or companies that also plow, and so they do a great job doing that, de-icing the roads and keeping those clean. But in these areas here, or some off roads or some side roads, yeah, you can't, they won't do it, or unless you have to pay them privately. Some of the roads in the mountains and some other areas that you're gonna have the ice on there, so it's gonna hard to get it to maneuver this truck in those areas. So I have limited space I can go to. So my plan was to maybe get an all-wheel drive cargo van. I talked about that before. I've been looking at some, so that for those times I can have the van. And another thing I noticed here when I'm inspecting the truck after the snowstorm and I cleaned it all up, I have a leak in here in the seams. Now I talked about this before. I had leaks in the corner here, and I had leaks over here. I mean, this truck's old, so I had to seal this up here and did all that with just a household sealant, you know, the silicone. Yeah, I don't know if that was already sealed, but I sealed this up and it's working. Well, I sealed this up and it was still leaking. I just temporarily put a bunch of duct tape on here. This, what do you call this, really good solid duct tape. And it hasn't leaked since. I mean, there's a little bit coming here. See, it comes in here, but it doesn't leak into the truck on the floor. And I know there's one here, so I'm gonna have to go up in here. And see, the thing is, I live in this area gets very hot in the summertime and dry. We get very hot, dry summers. And this, I don't have a garage, so this sits out right under the sun. I mean, we're direct sunlight here. So it dries out the seals, and the seals get worn, drying out. And it's an older, like I said, older truck, so I'm gonna have to reseal that. That's part of the game when you own one of these. That stuff happens. So you have to maintain these things, and I'm gonna have to go down to the RV supply store where you can get the real sealant for like the tops of RVs. That would probably work better than using that household sealant. That works okay, but it wears out fast. Like I had to seal around. I'm having a leak also on the window area, and it's just one of those things. This stuff doesn't last forever, and I like that. I don't really necessarily would need to keep the truck sealed and no water, like where there's no water leaks, if it was just junk removal. But what I do is I also do brand new furniture deliveries from stores, and also furniture buyouts from like Marketplace and so forth, and sometimes mattresses. And you don't want water on furniture items like that someone paid a lot of money for. And so I have to make sure this is sealed up and I'm not getting water in here for those type of deliveries. Like the end of the week, next week, it's going to warm up. Next weekend it's going to be almost 40, but it's going to be snowing and raining and slushy. I may get work during that time, and I definitely need to have this where I'm not having water coming in here. So but with junk removal, doesn't matter. you can just, you know, doesn't matter if the stuff gets ruined, you're throwing it out, unless it's good stuff you want to save. But so I have to attend to that. And I did find some sealant that I had from last year. I can't do it right now because it's wet. I might be able to put a little sealant in here. Another thing is I was organizing my filing cabinets, getting things ready for taxes, and just getting things that I don't need thrown out and shredded, things that are old and I don't need around in my filing cabinets. And I found a box of brand new, or not brand new, well, they haven't used them, business cards. And I've been meaning to get some business cards. I get it through Vistaprint, but I've been meaning to get some. I just haven't done it, and it's about time. This is coming around time where we're going to come out of winter and go into spring soon. Sooner than just time flies. Pretty soon we'll be having to market again, and I have to have those business cards. So luckily I found that box of business cards, which I can use to pass out storage units, which I'm going to focus on storage units. That's my, I think I'm just going to pass them out to all these local storage units, the ones that'll accept them, because those are my favorite jobs, is doing storage cleanouts. But anyway, but this week, yeah, it's going to get really cold. It's supposed to drop negative, in the negatives, so like -1, -2, I don't know, maybe lower than that. Usually in February we don't get it. I don't remember in February, since I've been here in the last 5 years, of February's getting this much snow and cold weather. Usually we'll get cold weather, but it usually doesn't snow as much as it has this week. So I may have to wait till the weekend before I still go out and do some jobs with the truck, because like I said, that drive wheel, it doesn't drive very well. It's slipping in here just on some small amount of ice, a patch of ice. And so until I get the better tires or an all-wheel drive van, I'm pretty much stuck here. That's okay, because it's going to be, like I said, it's going to warm up real soon, and that's when I'll start hitting the ground again and getting out there doing some work. I hope everyone out there is doing really well. I know I saw on the news or something about the snowstorm coming, and a lot of different states we're going to have some pretty icy, snowy conditions, so be safe out there if you have to drive, and be careful. So, but yeah, sooner we'll see some, you know, it's coming into, hopefully we're going to be into winter real soon here and get into the boom time, which is for me is springtime, summer. So looking forward to that. But I do enjoy the snow. You know, it's nice. It looks nice, and it's nice to have cold weather here and there. I like the seasons. So anyway, this is Daryl at 10 Foot Truck, Good Attitude Services. I hope you all guys are having a great time, getting a lot of work, and being prosperous. It's Daryl at 10 Foot Truck, Good Attitude Services, signing out.